But I do agree with your comparison to the private sector, because quite frankly, you can't possibly blog with Delta. And if you do blog with Delta, you're putting your place very quickly. So, and in terms of some of the government entities, they've been underfunded doing this stuff for eons. I'm not defending it. What I'm saying is the educational process across the board is just phenomenal. I mean, Doug, you showed me this morning a little cube that holds seven meg?
8 gigs.
8 gig. Yeah. I mean, it's just phenomenal compared to what took me 100 tons of air conditioning to just a few years ago. So I think the education process across the board has not been well developed. And I would also add earlier, the information, the accuracy of the information is always suspect. You mentioned that the Tea Party was spontaneous. I think there are people that would take a different approach to it.
It wasn't 100% spontaneous, but once you get a group of people, whether they're just a group of people or civil society, and then you pick up organizations, then it has a life of its own.
Yeah, true, but the amount of misinformation still floating around is phenomenal. People are more interested in glomming onto a soundbite rather they are investigating and gathering information, which I guess is a big challenge for the not just the government, but for the government and the private sector together.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you point out Delta, because right after this, I'm traveling up to New York, right? And so and then after that, I'm flying to LA pretty soon. So I booked a flight on Virgin America to Los Angeles. And Virgin America is just the favorite airline of techies across America. Why? Because they have Wi-Fi on their planes and they're cool looking, and they've utilized Web 2.0 tools and sponsorships even of people's blogs and stuff in a very selective manner to become the hip airline. And so most airlines aren't like that, and they're taking a huge advantage of that. I'm staying at a hotel called the Roger Smith Hotel in New York. And I usually only stay in Starwood hotels. I like getting the points. But this is the hotel that's sponsoring this conference I'm going to. And the techies love the Roger Smith Hotel, which frankly I never heard of. So why? Because they tweet and they look for people that are techies. They're talking about traveling to New York. They have Twitter-only discounts. They have a blog. The people that work there in Web 2.0, public relations, whatever exactly their jobs are, they look and they treat the techies like VIPs. And this hotel is right next to the Waldorf Astoria and the W New York. This isn't some out of the way thing. So in every industry and every part of government, what seems to happen is that there's some person that seems to be enthusiastic about the tools or the way of doing things, and then they just kind of start doing it. They say, I'm going to start the Roger Smith Hotel Twitter account. This is what happened with Comcast, where basically the customer service guy started an account called Comcast Cares, and now he's in charge of digital customer communications, and he has 17 people working for him. And they're looking for people saying bad things about Comcast. And they're looking for people that are complaining on Twitter and on blogs, I've been waiting 4 hours, where's my service? And they're trying to cut through red tape. And so these people sort of become heroes in their industry, and those, in some cases, tend to be the best practice. So you could say that Virgin America is sort of the best practice of how to run an airline in America. And it might not be strictly true, but that's how a lot of people are thinking about these things. And the Roger Smith Hotel might be the best practice of how do you sort of do new wave marketing of a hotel to a niche audience. And so I think the government and people working with the government can take advantage of a lot of these lessons. You know, how does the EPA use new tools to market the good things they're doing to environmental enthusiasts, to local government people that want to have a better perspective on what the federal government is doing, and so on and so forth. And you can imagine businesses marketing to government, what people call B2G, talking about the airplane they make or the service they provide or whatever it is in more sophisticated niche marketing ways that really reach individual people rather than sort of the billboard you see when you go down to the metro. There's something for Northrop Grumman down there. Both things are